What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Doe Show. It's your boy Dame D, and today I have two special guests in the studio with me. This was definitely a heartfelt story that I heard. I had to bring this young lady into the studio for my viewers, for my subscribers, to hear the story. I'll go ahead and allow her to introduce herself to the show.
What up, though? My name is Doris Ray, and I'm from Detroit, and I'm a CEO with Women Helping Other Women and Ray of Life Books. I'm also a book coach and a motivational speaker in domestic violence prevention. I have a book that I had recently put out last year called He Loves Me, He Loved Me Not. And the reason why I say the second word as loved, LUVD, is because the relationship I was in was a lesser love. Back to you.
Okay, and I have another guest, and I'll go ahead and allow you to introduce yourself to the show.
What up, though, y'all? What up, though? It's your boy Big Dave. Real talk with Big Dave.
Okay, I want to thank you both for coming on to the show. Like I said, this story was heartfelt to me. It damn near, it basically almost had me in tears when I heard this story. So I had to bring this young lady on so you guys can hear this story. I'm gonna go ahead and allow her to tell her story and speak her truth to you guys. So you can go on ahead, Doris, with your story, and here we go. So hold on, you guys. It's going to be a great story.
Well, the book is the backstory to how it took me 7 years to get out, heal, and overcome being in a 7 year relationship of abuse that ended in domestic violence, with me being shot in the face with a shotgun through the windshield of my car while three of my children were sitting in the back seat, resulting in me losing my sight. But what happened was, and you know when they say what happened was, you're about to hear something foolish that somebody done. Well, it all began when my second child father and I was supposed to plan getting married, and the night that we was going to make those plans, he got killed. And from there, I just went on what they called a road of destruction. From feeling lonely, abandoned, desperate because I was tired of dating, and then I was trying to feel a fleshly desire of being married. Even though I was grew up in the church and I knew better from Proverbs 18:22, it says, "He that finds a wife finds a good thing and will obtain favor with the Lord. Not she that finds her a husband to try to show him that you his good thing. You will not have favor with the Lord." So I set out on finding me a husband. And you know how, like Forrest Gump mama say, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get till you bite off into it. And I bit off a tutti frutti that gave me 7 years of a rocky road of nooks and crannies for not taking that time to read that box. Left me with 7 years of hard knocks, all because of the decision that I made to be with someone that I knew I shouldn't have been with. But I just can't tell you my story without taking you through the experience, because there's too many people that still believe that domestic violence can't happen to them. And they view it as it being normal because you're hearing about it every single day. But anytime it takes another human being to use abuse or control to abuse another person makes it not normal. So this is for the one that believes that this cannot happen to you. This is for the one that haven't experienced it yet. This is for the one that still may be in a domestic violence relationship right now and don't know how to get out. But I'm going to tell you, there is a way out. There is help for you. and it's Jesus. All you have to do is call on him. Even if you don't know him, say, God, help me. And this is for the one that has been through it and survived. And hoarding your testimony, it's not for you to hoard. It's for you to tell someone else how you got out so they can have hope and courage to get out for themselves. But what's love got to do with it? Everything when God is in it. Because God is love and he loves everybody unconditionally. But when it comes to man chooses to love who he want to love and put conditions on the love. So what's love got to do with it? When you are being misused and abused emotionally, physically, sexually, spiritually, or financially, it has nothing to do with it. What's love got to do with it? When a person that says they love you in the same breath would tell you, if you leave them, that they will put you up in some woods and they will never find you. What's love got to do with it? When a person that says that they love you is cheating on you, lying to you, and then gaslighting you to make you think that you was the one that brought them back that STD. Love has nothing to do with it. What's love got to do with it? When a person that says that they love you will not hurt you or your children, but will go behind your backs to the court to tell them that you was that unfit parent to take your kids away from you. Love has absolutely nothing to do with it. What's love got to do with it? When the one that says that they love you will set you up to be shot. It has nothing to do with it. So you don't want to know how it feels to be loved by a man that would grab you by your hair, drag you down the stairs, then put your hair inside of a car and take off at high speed down the street while your clothes and your skin is being ripped off your body from that concrete. You don't want to know how it feels to be carrying his baby and he's stomping in your stomach, causing you to miscarry. You don't want to know how it feels to be 7 months pregnant and then he decide he want to take his fist to your face and collapse it on one side, causing you to lose an eye, a broken nose, and a broken jaw, and then kick you out the door at high speed to leave you on the curbside to die. You don't want to know how it feels to be loved by a man that would sleep with a knife under his pillow, reinforce some ropes in the basement to hang you, and try to bash your head into the stove, and then slash you across your face, and you sitting across from a woman police officer telling her your story and she treating you like the criminal. You don't want to know how it feels to be that parent to get that phone call to hear that their son or their daughter that just got murdered. You don't want to know how it feels to be that child or that loved one left behind that seeing their parent or their loved one be brutally murdered. You don't want to know how it feels to be loved by someone who will love you not, that will stab you, beat you, and set you up to be shot. Just imagine that sun 100 degrees, 10 times great, singeing your skin as that bullet riddling through your body. But I'm going to take you to that night, to that decision that I made that put me and my children in harm's way. I just got off of work to go pick up 3 of my children from my mother's house that only lived 5 minutes away from me. And the closer I got to my block, I was feeling this eerie feeling. And when I pulled up the garage door, my heart fell into my stomach. And as I was walking back around to get in the car, I looked at the street before me to see a car charging down at me, kicking up rocks and dust, blocking me in. But when I jumped in the car to put it in reverse, the shooter was standing right there with that shotgun barrel staring at me in my face. It wasn't nothing I could do because I had 3 responsibilities sitting behind me that was 8, 3, and 4. Bam, bam! 2 shots went through the windshield. The first one hit me and the second one ricocheted. Everyone, put your hands on your ears. Put your hands on your ears because the only thing I can hear was the ringing of that gun as that blood was rolling down my face. Close your eyes. Because that shotgun blast that hit me in my forehead, that broke some bones that cut my eyes right out of my head. So these eyes that you see, they are porcelain and I can take them out. Put your left hand on your nose and your right hand on your mouth and hold it there until I tell you to take it down. Because that same blast that hit me in my face broke some bones in my nose that stopped me from breathing. That blood that rolled down my face, clotted over my lips, stopped me from breathing. Take your left hand down and then take your 2 fingers from your right hand and peel your lips apart because that's what I had to do to breathe. But the decisions that we make, it just doesn't affect us. It affects everyone around us. For the decision that I made and put me and my children in harm's way. My 8-year-old, she was the one that had to get.
Take your time.
She was the one that had to get out the car to get help for me. While she ran from door to door, not knowing if that shooter was still out there. While I was leaning on the horn, saying it's me to the community. She was the one that seen me get put up in the ambulance with my eyes hanging out on my clothes. She was the one that had to be strong for her 3-year-old brother and her 4-year-old sister while I was in the hospital in a coma. Not knowing how I was coming home or if I was coming home. But this is what I have to say to you today. Parents, this is for mothers and fathers. Because men go through domestic violence too. Our children are not supposed to protect us. We are supposed to protect our children at all costs. So what is it going to take for you to believe that what happened to me can happen to you? A slap to wake you up or a near-death experience to shake you up? For not taking that time to know my mate almost cost me and my children a deadly fate. But Dane D, I am grateful to be here. I am grateful that God has spared my life so I can tell my testimony.
Well, thank you, Doris. And this is why I wanted to bring you here on the show. Your story did the very first time that I heard your story, it did it did the exact same thing to me the second time hearing the story. I want to commend you for having the faith and courage to be able to come on the show and tell us your truth and tell us your story. A lot of women don't speak up about this. This is something that needs to be brought to the forefront, domestic violence. Like I said, I want to commend you for coming on the show, telling everybody your story. This definitely needs to go viral, you guys. So I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Make sure this story gets out. This needs to be told. And it needs to be shared. So I have a few questions I want to ask you, Doris. This was a 7-year relationship. When did you start to see things going wrong or south, I should say?
The 5th year that we were together, so when he had took me through the isolation stage to isolate me from my parents, my sisters, anybody that could help me get out the situation. Because my sister, she told me that whenever I was ready, that she would help me.
Okay.
So he moved us away from Detroit to outside of Detroit. And the first day, he didn't even wait until I unpacked everything. And he bossed up on me.
Okay.
And at that time, that's when I just knew that, I showed him that I wasn't scared of him, but I knew I was in a place where I was away from help.
Okay. So basically, he kind of tried to get you away from your family and friends, so so he can be kind of controlling. Was he controlling in a relationship? Not just abusive. Was he also controlling too?
He wasn't controlling. He was more manipulative,
Okay.
and he did it in a subtle way. But at the same time, he still was controlling the situation, but he was making it seem like I was more so controlling it than him.
Okay. Now I want to go back in the beginning when you said you and your friend, you guys were out that day, and you said today was that day that you were going to find your husband.
It was me and my baby sister.
Okay, you and your baby sister. So go ahead and explain a little bit more about that day. About the day you were out and you guys and you met that guy.
Well, she had a car that she needed some hubcaps for, and the radio station was giving away a card, and we can get some hubcaps for $20. So when I was closing the door, I told my sister, I said, well, whoever we meet on this day, we gonna make our husbands.
Right.
And when we got to the auto parts store, the radio station van was outside, and it was two guys, one standing outside and one sitting inside. And she chose which one she wanted before I could choose. So I was left with the one that was sitting inside the van, while the one that was outside, he had followed us inside the auto parts place to get my sister's number. And then when we came out, I was talking to the one that was in the van, and he was my type. He had nice muscles, green eyes, and from there, that's how it began.
Right. So in the beginning, did he start off being abusive? Did he pull what's the word I'm looking for? The sheep wool over your face. Did he start off that way in a relationship, or was it or was he not aggressive in the beginning? I should say. Sorry about that.
He was not aggressive in the beginning.
Okay.
He was definitely a liar.
Right.
And but because I made that, because of what I said and I put out there that I was gonna make him my husband, because he had all the prospects of being to me at
Being
the
a
time,
husband.
because I didn't know what love was.
Right.
So by him having his own house, sports cars, a Benz, a boat, and making 50, 60,000 a year, wasn't married, didn't have any children. To me, I was saying jackpot.
Right. So now, how old were you at that time?
I was 23.
Okay. Okay. So I guess my next question was: did you guys go on to even get married or have any kids?
We had children. I had two kids by him, and he wasn't going to marry me until a proposition came on the floor, and that was from his uncle. His uncle had cancer, and he thought wasn't going to make it, so he had a trust fund worth of $250,000.
Okay.
And the stipulation in the trust fund was that me and him would get our part, but we had to be married for a year. And the children got 2/3 of the trust fund. But because at that time it was before the 7th year, when it was in the 6th year when this proposition was given to us.
Right.
And at that time, he had messed around with 7 different women, brought me back STDs. And then one day I was at home cleaning up the house and found out that the money I was giving him for his for the business and the money to take care of the home and everything, he was putting it all on his business.
Wow.
And we had a shut off notice for the lights, gas. We had a shut off notice for the phone. And he didn't pay 2 months of the rent. So they all came at the door
Oh wow.
the same day, and after the landlord had left, then here come friend of the court looking for him.
For other kids that he had?
Yes.
Okay, wow. And
That was born eight months after our last child.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay, so that goes back to what you were saying, where he was cheating and doing all those type of things behind your back.
Right.
Okay. Well, Big Dave, I want to get on the aspect, because this is not just doesn't just happen to women. This also happens to men. So, give me your opinion, give me your thoughts on this conversation, Dave. Go ahead and add something to it.
We're gonna, like I said, when we first did this show with Doris, and I first did this show with Doris, she gave a lot of insight about abuse, period. But she said a word to me that's really real. See, she said she allowed it.
Right.
So whenever you allow someone to do things to you that's unnormal and you think it's normal, it can be confusing sometimes. And like I told her, I have been in those situations as a man. I have let women, do things that was unnormal, that wasn't right and disrespectful, and I ignored it because I thought I had something. I thought I was happy. But sometimes you got to take this somewhere else. You got to look at your happiness and say to yourself, is you really happy with a person mistreating you?
Right.
And I allowed a lot of things I should have never allowed in my life. I'm not saying I'm perfect. To this day, I still allow things. And that ain't just with a woman that you with. That's with anybody. When something seems like it's not right and someone is just mistreating you and treating you any kind of way, and you know it ain't right, and you know in your heart is bringing chills to you because you're not feeling good about it, it's making you sick, you're supposed to understand that and know not to do that.
Right.
But we get caught up.
And we all do. And back to you, Doris. I want you to give, I want you, for the young ladies, or for the young ladies that may be watching the show, give them advice on how to get out of a relationship before the domestic violence and all that stuff start coming in. So kind of give them, what's the word that I'm looking for? Words of encouragement on how to spot, this type of guy, what to do, what to see, what to look for, and just kind of give them words of encouragement on how you were able to get out of this domestic violence relationship.
Well, there's always signs. But how abusers do it, they give you subtle signs in the beginning, little easy tests, to test your strength, like grabbing you around your neck, and kissing you, but choking you at the same time to see what your reflexes going to be.
Oh wow.
If you're going to be like, get off of me, or, be, and then in the bedroom, they also test you. And that's where they do the most manipulation, in the bedroom.
Right.
And they have you making promises, and they, be trying to test your strength to see, how strong you are with your legs, like wrestle with you and things like that. And so I put it this way: when you start catching them at lies, and when you start seeing if they start cheating on you, or doing things, little things, like emotionally abusing you, right, talking about you, and trying to tear your spirit down,
Right.
or disrespect you, that's letting them know that the person is not loving you, is not caring for you. Because love does not do that.
Right.
Love is not going to put his hands on you. Love is not going to tear you down. Love is not going to lie to you. Love is not going to abuse you in any kind of way, even financially. Love is not going to do that to you
Right.
because love is going to have your best interest. And if that person is showing that they don't have your best interest, that means you need to get out. And if you in a domestic violence relationship, the first thing you don't do is tell them, I'm going to leave you.
Right.
Because at that time, that's when they'll start making arrangements to make sure
That you won't leave.
that you won't leave.
Right.
Because in some situations, that's when the physical abuse really ramps up.
Now, is that something that you did? That now, would you tell him that you were going to leave him, or he did not have any inclination or any clue that you were getting ready to leave him?
Oh, he had inclination that I was going to leave him. And I'm going to tell you why. Is that another thing abusers do is that they gain allies, which
Okay.
are in your family, your friends. You know, they gain allies. So they'll go to them and ask them or tell them, you know, like he told my mom, that I think she's going to leave me, but I don't want her to leave me. Can you help me?
Right. So he was going to your family for help.
The only one he could go to was my mom
Okay.
because my sister didn't like him.
Right.
And then he had his friend to manipulate my friend, my best friend. So she was telling him stuff. So, because I was confiding in her, you know. So he knew that I was making plans to go.
Right.
And you need a plan. Sometimes you have to just leave and leave everything behind. Those
Right.
material things you can get back, but your life you cannot get back. So if you have to go to save your life, then do so. And if you have children, don't stay because of the children. Get out because of the children.
Right.
So so I was making plans, you know, to leave and trying to get myself, you know, a place to go and things like that. And because he had 2 steps ahead of me, because he knew about my plans, he went behind my back to take the kids away from me.
Oh wow.
He had my brother-in-law to hold the kids.
Okay.
So he was in a kidnapping situation right there.
Oh wow. So again, I want to commend you for coming on the show, telling your story. You know, for any young women listen to this story, you know, domestic violence is real. You know, I advise you to listen to Doree's story. You know, and if you're going through anything that she went through, you know, there's measures, there's things that you can, there's ways that you can, there's people that you can talk to. There's help out there to try to guide you out of certain situations like that. You know, but I got one more question. I want to ask you, were you aggressive with him?
No,
Okay.
I was very peaceful and loving,
Right.
you know, and the only time that I had to show any aggression was to protect myself
Okay.
when he was trying to beat me down.
Right.
And and say early on in the relationship, I think the third time I left him, that's when I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
And there's one thing also, ladies, don't touch your guy's stuff, cause you know that's what they have, and they're very territorial, and I didn't understand that.
Now, can you repeat that again?
Don't touch your guy's stuff
Okay.
because they are very territorial. And I didn't know that, but I had to understand that
Right.
because when I touched his stuff, that caused the argument.
Okay. See, and the reason why I asked you, were you aggressive or did you fight back with him? Because some men take that as, you know, well, you know, she loved me back. You know, a lot of people take love for the wrong things, like abuse. He might have been taking that for a different reason. But like I said, there's no reason to be putting your hands on anyone. This was a horrible situation. I want to, like I said, I want to thank you for coming on here telling your story. This woman has a book out. I'm going to show you this book. It's called What Love Has to Do with It.
Oh, he loves me.
Oh yeah, he loves me. He loves me not. That's the name of the title is What Love Has to Do with It. But yes, she's an author. She just put out her. Is this your first or your second novel?
My second.
This is her second novel. So I would like for you guys to go and definitely support her. She's going to tell you where you can reach and be able to purchase all her things. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a second to go ahead and let everybody know where they can reach out, where they can find you, where they can get your book, and just tell a little bit everybody else about how the book got started, what made you. Well, we know the domestic violence got you off into the book, but just give a little everybody a little bit more insight on the book, and and we know that that's where domestic violence is where the book came from, but give everybody a little bit more insight on the book. What loves he loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. So go ahead and tell them a little bit more about the book.
Okay, but first, can I say this? I wanted to tell the ladies this also is that anyone that he has became an ally with, those are the last persons that you want to trust and tell them, your plans. So you want to tell someone that you can trust, and like Dane D said, that there are hotlines out there that you can call, and if you need to get somewhere quick, go to the police station. I know some police stations are not helpful, but it's safer, or a hospital is a whole lot safer than trying to run over to a family's house somewhere where he know the first place that you're going to run to.
Right. So he was actually going to your family trying to get help before you got help.
Yes.
Wow.
So you can get the book on Amazon and Kindle, and my email address is WHOW, the number 2, LLC at gmail.com. I'm a book coach, so if you have an idea or a book that you want to bring to life, I'm that girl. I can help you do that. I'm also a motivational speaker. I'm a minister, so I do speak in churches. I go anywhere, everywhere that God allows me to tell the testimony. So if it's a school, a church, community center, a rally, I will be there. You contact me, I will be there.
Okay, and like I said, I definitely wanted this story to get out. We need for this story to go viral. I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This young woman had a horrific thing happen to her, and she took the courage to be able to come up here and tell you guys her story. So I need for you guys to share this story, get it out here. Her story definitely needs to be heard. Big Dave, let everybody know what you got on your mind.
Oh man, just hey, like I said, another ripping show, another good show. She told her story again. We got a little more in depth with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's all. We just trying to push these stories out here. Things is going to get better. Y'all can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Real Talk Wit, WIT Big Dave, and you can get me on Facebook, Big Dave Crawford. You dig? You can messenger me if you got anything that you want to talk about or do on the show with me, or you got any interesting topics, we can get into it. We'll make it all happen. We're going to blow this up, though. So y'all make sure y'all reach out.
For sure. And like I said, again, I want to thank everybody who watched the show. I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I didn't want to ask too many questions. Like I said, I wanted her to come up here and speak her truth and tell her story. So I just wanted to ask a few questions without getting too personal in her life. But like I said, this was a story that needs to be heard. It needs to be told. You guys need to share it. And like I said, Doris, I want to thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And sharing your story to everybody, because like I said, a lot of women don't have the courage and And I'm going to say the faith to be able to come in front of millions, sometimes thousands of people and tell their story. So like I said, I want to commend you and for getting out of there for you and your children. For getting out of there safe. Because a lot of women, it doesn't turn up in that in the situation that you had. A lot of women end up dead. So like I said, I want to commend you for being strong and doing what you had to do to get yourself and your family up out of there safe. So again, before we end the show, I want you to tell the people one more time where they can reach you. Let them know what you got going on.
You can reach me at WHOW2LLC@gmail.com. I also do workshops called What's Love Got to Do with It. I go to shelters, I go to schools. I have my workshops right now in a couple of shelters. And I'm also, like I said, I'm a book coach and motivational speaker and a minister. And I'm also a spiritual counselor. I forgot to put that in there too. But I'm also a spiritual counselor as well. So you can hit me up at my email again, WHOW2LLC@gmail.com. And that stands, the WHOW stands for Women Helping Other Women.
There we go. And like I said, I want to thank her again, and I'm going to show the book again. The name of the book is He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not. So I need for you guys to go out there and grab this book, support her. She told her story, it needs to be heard. So like I said, I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And it's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.